So hi guys.
Yeah, okay. So this is Jager. I'm casting. Me and Dax are casting
Yeah.
this match, XP Overwatch Community Cup. Again, all right. So we have 3 matches to go. This is the third last match. So we still got a few more rounds to go. Hey, Dax, how you feeling?
Feeling good, dude. So looks like we're gonna be King Soul. Is this the first game or the third game? I'm confused with the map draft. Yeah, like I checked out the map draft a while ago. Is it Kings Road the last
Uh
map instead of the first one?
so we might or might not see Kings Row again, depending on whether there's a 2-0 or not.
Welcome.
It's
Oh
force of
man,
habit, dude. Honestly, I
6
would.
out of 7 Kings Row.
Sammy guys doing such a good job adminning this tournament up. Also casting as well. So thank you, thank you to him and dude. No sarcasm at all, dude. You're doing two things at the same time. Even playing, so we understand. And especially, you see King's Row, you insta-lock that. You see King's Row in competitive, oh, you know what's going to be happening. Very, very common mistake. Very, very common pick, honestly.
So after that hectic match of after the hectic competition we had of the previous game when CDS fought off Fantastic Fog, I think we're gonna see a little bit more chill game this time between two newer teams. I would say newer teams in the scene. So we have Team Genesis versus Team Jagers, I believe. So on the side of Jagers, right, Team Jagers, we do have a very, I can't say standard. This is not a standard comp at all. We have a Brigitte, we have a Mercy. I think Mercy, because Brigitte can't heal that much, right? Your heal is once every 5 seconds, so you have a problem with healing a consistent amount of heal. So they're going to be playing Mercy to sustain the amount of healing they need, and they're going to be playing double hit scan as well. What do you think of the other team comp? What do you think of Genesis team comp? Dex?
So Genesis has the McCree to try and do some spot shots, because they have the Reinhardt and the Zarya. So it's a pretty deathbally composition, really old composition from Genesis. On the other hand, Team Jager here with a very interesting Bridget Mercy play. So Valkyrie rally push will be key to them.
A Genji though? A Genji for defense?
Yeah, so that's also interesting. Maybe it's a comfort pick. So guys, if you didn't know, Assault and Escort have not been played today. The pick rates are as followed. For the other modes, Hybrid at 69.2% and Control at 30.8%.
No one likes 2 CP, and that's why no one's gonna be playing 2 CP today. Maybe.
Dude, it's interesting that no one has played Payload when there's Route 66.
That's true,
And
but Route 66 is pretty hard to run though. I feel like most people have no confidence in running Route 66. Anyway, it's a very interesting hold position here on the side of Genesis. They're pushed up all the way up to car. Alright, they're pulling back now.
so Genesis is actually giving space for Nightmare to get some shots, but this is a very, very like forward push coming in from Genesis with Nikos at the Vanguard. And oh, is that a charge coming out? Oh, Glastrain gets sliced. So Soap is cleaning up right now, gets stunned up though by Killer right there. Ooh, there's a swift strike. Gets the kill onto Bait, and Soap just going crazy. Cleaning up Team Jager right there.
Why did the right hand need to charge his way through? It's interesting decision right there. I didn't follow the right hand point of view all the way, but generally you want to block through the point and of course save the charge for another moment, because charge is still a cooldown. It's not a cooldown used much, but it's still a cooldown. So interesting play coming out from Constraint.
Kind of questionable charge right there, leaving his team behind, but it's okay. Now we do see Jaeger is able to regroup and try to another push, but Soap now ready to. I keep saying clean up because his name is Soap. He has a Dragon Blade available.
Also, Lu tried to throw the. Oh, anyway, the Graviton's gonna stick everyone up the wall, and there's gonna be a follow up. Very clean. Dragon Blades up.
Dude, we're just making Soap jokes right now with the Genji.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to avoid it. I was gonna say clean up. I was gonna say wipe. Like,
Oh man.
but yeah, okay. So Soap here has a playing a really good Genji. So yes, this is a comfort pick over a meta pick. Obviously, Soap has run the Genji with his team very well. Jake with a really good Graviton onto the wall. So probably Genesis playing this Hollywood in their style instead. The archway is where they want to defend. Nikos and Oslo now ready to combo up the Nano Reinhardt in particular. Oh, Nightmare
Constraint is gonna drop once again, so they will have to reset without being able to do anything. But they do have, there is some kills coming out on the side of Jagers. Nikos does go down, so if they reset fast enough, they may be able to fight.
Constraint once again with the charge, gets stunned up, and Nightmare and Jacob taken down. Killer with the rally, but Alloy with its tactical visor right there, tactical aim, tactical skill coming in from the Soldier 76, and looks like he's gonna be on to the point right here. Nikos is gonna be going there. Oh, Nightmare with a Deadeye gets his shutdown onto 2. Good nano boost as well coming in from Osulu. Bane with the deflect, but he's just being swatted around by Nikos.
The defense is actually going to be successful, but they do drop one tick over to Team Jager. So Constraint needs to be a little bit more careful, because when you go into the point, you don't really have the heals. The Mercy can't really follow you, and depending on what kind of corner you take, the Mercy might or might not be able to heal you through that kind of damage.
And now Jager does have the opening, but it's actually still holding position. Nightmare will still take a while though. So this is literally Jager's time to actually do the charge and to go for the offensive before the McCree gets back. And now we do see Bane initiating instead of Constraint. And there is an Earth Shatter coming out onto Red Team.
Wait, what?
Oh, Bane getting no kills.
Oh,
so
man.
Blocked out by Nikos right there. Constraint.
Was that Sound Barrier needed?
No.
Kiss? I'm gonna call him Kiss.
So
I don't think
Kiss.
the Sound Barrier was that necessary. They already won the fight. Everyone was retreating. Unless that was by a celebratory Sound Barrier like the Dragon Blade we saw 3-4 matches ago.
Yeah, late Sound Barrier right there, but it was more MVP Nikos right there with a really good block onto Constraint.
They
So
have
Bane has
the,
to do
they have the last win condition right there in their hand, right? Jaco and Soap with the combo needed, just like the first fight. So we're gonna see whether they're gonna stick them through the wall, because they're playing so aggressively. The Raha is pushed all the way out. Macri is hiding.
There it is. There's the combo. So getting those kills. Nikos is there as well. Nikos is hammering around, and Jacob with a kill of the charge icon of all things, Nightmare Deadeye, and yeah, that's a team wipe. Genesis, might I say, leading a Genesis here on Hollywood defense.
So I think one of the things that Jagas could do better is maybe not rotate through security room. If you try to go through security room, you are literally just choking yourself. That's one of the worst places to go to. You know, the smaller the location, the smaller the place, the less you want to push through, especially on attack. So when the Raha is going through, his team can't really follow him, because you know he's just getting pummeled left and right by the enemy defense, standing right outside the choke. So yeah, questionable play there by Constraint, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Team Jager right now struggling due to their main tank. Honestly, like you can see that Constraint is having a hard time. He's actually very constrained by his role right now. Maybe
The puns are real.
it's like pre Fisher LAG right now for Team Jager.
So I do like the S killer is Z killer. Okay, that's not S as
I just call it killer anyway.
Killer, yeah, let's call killer. Lots of that today. So killer rally was actually quite effective, because it allowed them to kill Nikos. Even though Constraint died in security, they actually killed Nikos. So rally actually doing the job. So rally's kind of like a Sound Barrier. It's a big defensive out, not as good as a Sound Barrier, but closer to a Sound Barrier than say a Transcendent.
I feel like the rally is better for poking. Like if you're trading pokes, the rally is good to top you up and at the same time allow you to push in a little slower than of course a speed boost. But you know, it's more consistent. And also you can use the rally pre-engagement to top everyone up with armor. Not the most effective, but it's actually a very, very interesting tactic to utilize.
Do you think Bridger will ever be played in this dive comp then? I mean, according
I think yeah, she can in a sense. It has to be one of those maps that aren't multi-leveled, however. So it's like when you run a death ball in the sense, but you want to try to run a dive. It's like a hybrid comp in a sense, because also
we're gonna be seeing a Diva and a Roadhog coming out on attack for the Genesis. So whoa, that pick on Soap. Soap is clean no more.
I was actually gonna bring that up. So this is where Bridget thrives, encountering a Tracer, a Sombra, a Genji right there with a stun, and Soap actually died because he got stunned up there by Killer. Really good play from the Bridget so far.
So definitely a bit of practice has been Killer has definitely been practicing, you know, Brigitte. That was great use of Brigitte, and he's already 50% to his rally. So we're gonna see how he uses rally later. But before that, let's see whether they're gonna change out their comp. No, they're gonna be sticking to Diva Roadhog. I'm wondering why they're not playing a Winston Diva. Do you think that's counted too?
I think they don't have the confidence to actually run the Winston instead, or they want to get those picks instead. They want to do more damage. They want to shatter shields off Constraint, and the hooks are gonna be key. But Killer with the stun once again. So many players actually complain about that stun because it cancels so many things, including ultimates.
They're going to be changing to Reinhardt. So Nikos will be playing Reinhardt now after we just spoke of it. I think they realized the inefficiency of what they were trying to do. So Hohawk being used by Jager, and of course this is where Rally gets used.
Yeah, so in the meantime, there was a speed boost in with the Hohawk, so that's the combination Genesis was wanted. Minimoko with the Stealth Shock doesn't get anyone, but Soap is there to clean up once again, to go for the pulse bomb. Sorry about that. I had the hiccup right there. Now, ooh, there's a pulse bomb onto the floor. There's a Jager Blade coming out from Vayne. That might be all in Vayne now, and yes, he does fall to Jaco. Constraint is there. He's constrained by the corridor of
he was almost killed because when Vayne outed on the point, the Roadhog didn't even move. The Roadhog just stood on point, so it was like, you know, just give me your best shot. The Roadhog wasn't even scared at all. Then he chased the Mora, and of course Mora just faded away.
You know, sorry about that, guys. I just like something got stuck. But Soap there. Maybe I could use some Soap right now as he does.
Oh, there we go.
Right now. Wow. Really good combination coming in from the two. That
should be like a Genji skin where, you know, instead of holding a sword, you're holding a broomstick.
Yeah. And then he has like a maid outfit or something. He even went after the Valkyrie Mercy. So very good play there from Soap, getting that Swift Strike on point into the sky. So yeah, Genesis takes the first map quite easily here.
What's the next map again? You check.
Lijiang.
Oh, Lijiang. All right. Yeah, awesome. I mean, I was like, are we really gonna see King's Row 6 out of 7 times? So I'm happy, right? I'm selfish, but I'm happy we're actually going to put King's Row to the last map. So there is a chance we'll see King's Row, but there's also a chance that we don't see King's Row. Of course, I hope to see King's Row. In this case, I actually would hope to see King's Row because I want to see a 2-1. I want to see, like, you know, a 2-1 go to the third map for like, yeah, for a closer fight. What do you think, Dax?
Dude, I always love a game 3, but this is one of the cases where I just don't want to see King's Row again. So let's go Genesis.
Catch 22.
Yeah, let's go Genesis, but I don't want to. I'm not counting out Jager, but it's more of no to King's Row.
I feel like, you know, for the last few maps, we have just been starting. So let's look at the cup. Oh, it's Reinhardt Zaya again. Oh, it's Reinhardt Zaya. Oh, it's Reinhardt Zaya again. And we talk about the Lucio being great and all that. And it's just been deja vu again and again.
Yeah, so in the Philippines, it's like we say, tama na. It just means, parang, it's time to stop. It's enough. That's enough. That's enough King's Row.
Very fitting statement to be used here. No more King's Row. For any teams that are watching for the next map, right? I mean, we can't force, as casters, we can't force you what. This is just our selfish desire. But no more King's Row.
As casters, let's actually say as a selfish desire. As casters, we don't want to see 2 CP the most because it takes the longest and has the longest intervals in between. On the other hand, maybe you do want to see escort because no control to talk about, only payloads. And this is the second time Lijiang Tower has actually been played in this tournament.
I don't mind Lijiang. Lijiang, you do see Pharah coming out. I mean, Pharah can be used in this map, and of course, Pharah will definitely be used in Gardens, I'm hoping, unless they're going for more comfort than meta. But anyway, we're going to see Reinhardt. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I thought we were going to see a Reinhardt versus Reinhardt fight for Night Market, which would be really, really weird because normally people play dive. The top teams play dive on this map, but I think Constraint is still going to be playing a Reinhardt troop. I think because of comfort. So it'll be Aloy on Anna and Norisu on Moira. So lots of healing coming out from the side of Team Jagas.
Yeah, so Jager will have a struggle here actually on mobility's sake. They have a Reaper, but they have a Moira Ana, so the Reaper will have a hard time to actually go in, as well as Constraint. So it's a very weird hybrid lineup. They need some mobility for their roster, but in the meantime, Genesis with Oslu on the Lucio, this gives them the advantage in positioning already with the Lucio.
I love how Genesis is like, yeah, we don't have one Genji player, we have 2 Genji players. Now Soap is going to play, now Soap is going to do this cleanup job with Tracer, and it's going to be Nightmare on the Genji.
So speaking of ability, look, Genesis is on the point. Look how far Jager is. They're struggling to even move in, and finally they're about to go in as fire. We do see a dive coming in from Nikos, but is it enough? Bionic Grenade was on point from Jager. Oh, Vayne sluts down the Lucio, so trades are being done right now, but Genesis has the upper hand. Diva is the only one left alongside Vayne. There's the pop out of the mech, and yeah, this is gonna go the way of Genesis.
Beautiful engage by Genesis right there, because we talked about Dax, you talked about how they don't have a Lucio, so they're not going to be able to take much space, and that was exactly what happened. When the Reinhardt pushed in the point, half of the team was in the point and half of the team was outside the point. There goes Nikos. Nikos go for the engage and stop them, fragmenting the team, splitting the team into two, and allowing the flankers Soap and Nightmare to really get a very easy cleanup.
And Control is one of those map types you always want the Lucio, and now we do see a Jager Blade coming in once again. This time it's from Nightmare. He might be a Nightmare inside his corridor. There's a self-destruct as well, and Genesis is cleaning up. Constraint does shut down Oslo, but it might not be enough. Nikos dives in straight on to spawn. This is spawn cap here for Genesis. Vayne gets out with his life back into the ship, and it's time to recall. It's time to go home.
Constraint does have his shatter, but I mean, the second but in here, where will Constraint actually be able to land the shatter? Because without speed boost rather, it's a very predictable shatter. You see a Reinhardt moving in the position where he wants to hit, and there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Nico on point with the barrier as well. Vayne does pop the Dragon Blade. Will we see some kills? Oh, Jacob gets taken down. There's coalescence coming out as well, but the Primal Race is knocking everyone back and forth. Nikos did get Biotic Grenade, and now he pays for it with his life. So on top, just blinking around, and here comes an engage onto the point.
This is where I would say Jager's made a mistake, because Jager's went for a dive inside the point, right? Because when you jump into the point, of course you're gonna get choked. Anyway, let's look at the current team fight right now. They're already brawling in the point. Fastone gets hit, but fades away.
Oh, Askiller, Death Blossom right there takes down Soap and Nikos. This is the opening Jager really needs, and finally, this is the only time their lineup actually makes sense. If they get the capture on the point, they can actually play on point. On the other hand, this time Genesis will have a little struggle. They do have the Dragon Blade, however. So
are they actually? Yeah, but it's. I mean,
yeah.
Blade, are they actually going to be able to have a defensive out to counter that? They don't have a sound barrier. They don't have a transcendence.
Yeah. And now there is the Jager Blade. Sound barrier as a way to as well. Also, do not popping it. Oh, Nightmare has already cut down too. In the meantime, this is actually just gonna be a one-sided affair for Genesis. Self-destruct. No, will Minimoko have the miracle? Oh, he actually boops the Diva off, and yeah, Genesis will be taking this unless Vayne can do something with the wall kind with the switch strike. Oh, also the sound barriers!
What?
That's a throw right there. And Nico's actually taunting at the same time, throwing the ultimate away. When Jager maybe get able to do something about this. Oh, never mind. Orso gets run over. And there is the Earth Shatter as well. Minimoko trying his best.
Oh, you got eaten.
Oh, Garrison got eaten.
That's got eaten by Moko.
Yo, right. Highlight play. But it's not enough.
Yeah, that was a highlight play right there.
Dude, I just want to talk about Jager's thing. Jager really wants to get on the point, but they don't have the mobility to actually go on it. On the other hand, if Genesis is just running wild, maybe Jager could have used a Tracer or a Winston instead. Like, it's okay to have the Reaper or the Reinhardt, but not both of them at the same time.
If you want to run a Reaper and a Reinhardt, the least you could do is run a Lucio to help them, do their job of getting in up front and close to the enemy team, right? You don't run a Reinhardt and Reaper, a combination that's already awkward to work with, and then not run a Lucio. That makes all your plays, all your rotations in the fight very, very predictable. Everyone knows you're coming, and you're coming at a very, very, Atlantically slow pace. So that's just, I don't know.
Honestly, this lineup is a little bit okay, but not for this game mode. Control is one where you need mobility, and look at that. Look, on the other hand, Genesis still with the Lucio. They even have the Pharmacy here on Gardens. Of course, Gardens, the classic
farmers like their rotation right into the point, because they know that it was dangerous to play bridge with the kind of comp they had, so they rotated the point just like London. What? Yeah, that's what happened when you don't have a Lucio.
It was a team effort from Jacob and Oslo with the boop. Really, the Rocket getting the last part of the boop, and now we do see
so he's gonna pincer the enemy team Jaegers into the point, from the back and from the front.
Yeah, so the sides now are in the engagement point. Genesis knows
Constraint,
they can play
go back, Constraint. You're gonna get second.
No, Constraint, no. Constraint. Oh, he wants to go for the charge, maybe. No, okay, he's gonna back off. As I was saying, Genesis knows they can play the sides over Jager because Jager doesn't have environmentals. They have slow players, they have slow heroes rather, and now Jager is forced to go through one route only to the right.
So Norisu is gonna have the coalescence up and running, but how effective will that coalescence be when Farah is shooting you like, I don't know, 10 miles away. We are going to take a look at whether they can actually push the point. My advice is to coalescence immediately, allow everyone to push the point through the coalescence, and hope everything
Meantime,
works.
there is Rocket Barrage to counter that. Jager actually blows himself up, but it's not enough. Jaeger already taken down to a team wipe. And yes, very interesting and smart what do you call this? Comment right there. Coalescence should be used. The mobility is given to the Moira to push in. But the Rocket Barrage is already on point there from Jaco. Really good alternate usage there from Team Genesis.
Aloy's gonna switch though. Aloy's gonna switch from Anna to Zen. And then I was like, if you're gonna switch, why not switch for Lucio, my friend? But I mean, Zen is very similar to Anna in that it's still a very fragile, very low mobility unit. So I think the crux of the problem isn't quite solved. So they're gonna try to rotate back into the point, and this is a bit of a deja vu. I think we're gonna see the same thing happen. 3 BPS com. I mean, but
I'm actually waiting on Nika to just boop everyone with the Primal Rage Askiller. Ready with the Reaper Ultimate. Death Blossom might be the flower that they need here. Oh, the guards, but Nightmare shuts this down immediately. There's a pin onto Nikos. And oh, the Earth Shatter actually gets booped a little. There's a Silent Barrier coming out from Osulu. And Rocket Barrage from Jacob. Once again, gets 3. Good positioning there. Noriso, the win, the shutdown with the Biotic Grass.
Nightmare was actually trying to step in the last second, but he left it really. It was far too late. So he only stepped in, you know, when it was too late. So they actually got body. We have to flip it again, but it's only.
Oh, that's awesome! Bob, the flower is blossoming.
Oh man.
Killer gets taken down there by Sokiss, and this might be it, guys. They finally switched to Lucio, but it doesn't end up doing anything.
Not now.
Hello, Team Genesis 2-0. Questionable.
Oh man.
Super questionable.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there was a point to be made there, but definitely not at the last moment.
Jaeger, guys, you guys have to change your lineup like this.
I mean, there's one good point out of this, right? We are not gonna see King Throw.
Yeah, but dude, let's talk to Jaeger directly, guys. You need mobility and control.